Midsummer, also known as St. John's Day, or Lither, is the period of time centered upon the summer solstice, and more specifically the Northern European celebrations that accompany the actual solstice or take place on a day between June 19 and June 25 and the preceding evening. The exact dates vary between different cultures. The Christian Church designated June 24 as the feast day of the early Christian martyr St. John the Baptist, and the observance of St. John's Day begins the evening before, known as St. John's Eve. These are commemorated by many Christian denominations. In Sweden, the Midsummer is such an important festivity that there have been serious discussions to make the Midsummer's Eve into the national day of Sweden, instead of June 6. It may also be referred to as St. Hans Day. Background: European midsummer-related holidays, traditions, and celebrations are pre-Christian in origin. They are particularly important in geographic Northern Europe, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, but is also very strongly observed in Poland, Russia, Belarus, Germany, Netherlands, Ireland, parts of the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Malta, Portugal, Spain, Ukraine, other parts of Europe, and elsewhere, such as Canada, the United States, Puerto Rico, and also in the Southern Hemisphere, where this imported European celebration would be more appropriately called midwinter. Midsummer is also sometimes referred to by neo-pagans and others as Lither, stemming from Bede's De Temporum Rationale, which provides Anglo-Saxon names for the months roughly corresponding to June and July as Shaera Lither and Shaeref Terra Lither, with an intercalary month of Lither appearing after Shaeref Terra Lither on leap years. The fire festival or Lith summer solstice is a tradition for many pagans. Solstice celebrations still centered on the day of the astronomical summer solstice. Some choose to hold the rite on June 21, even when this is not the longest day of the year, and some celebrate June 24, the day of the solstice in Roman times. Although Midsummer is originally a pagan holiday, in Christianity it is associated with the Nativity of John the Baptist, which is observed on the same day, June 24, in the Catholic, Orthodox and some Protestant churches. It is 6 months before Christmas because Luke chapter 1 verse 26 and Luke 1.36 imply that John the Baptist was born 6 months earlier than Jesus, although the Bible does not say at which time of the year this happened. In Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Quebec, the traditional Midsummer Day, June 24, is a public holiday. So it was formerly also in Sweden and Finland, but in these countries it was, in the 1950s, moved to the Friday and Saturday between June 19 and June 26, respectively. In Wicca, practitioners celebrate on the longest day and shortest night of the year, which has not had a set date since the retirement of the 13-month Celtic calendar. History: the celebration of Midsummer's Eve was from ancient times a festival of the summer solstice. Bonfires were lit to protect against evil spirits which were believed to roam freely when the sun was turning southward again. In later years, witches were also thought to be on their way to meetings with other powerful beings. The solstice itself has remained a special moment of the annual cycle of the year since Neolithic times. The concentration of the observance is not on the day as we reckon it, commencing at midnight or at dawn, as it is customary for cultures following lunar calendars to place the beginning of the day on the previous eve at dusk at the moment when the sun has set. In Sweden, Finland, Latvia and Estonia, Midsummer's Eve is the greatest festival of the year, comparable only with Walpurgis Night, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve. Ancient Romans would hold a festival to honor the god Summonus on June 20. In the 7th century, Saint Eligius warned the recently converted inhabitants of Flanders against the age-old pagan solstice celebrations. According to the Vita by his companion, when "I'd say no Christian on the feast of St. John or the solemnity of any other saint performs celestitia, summer solstice rites, or dancing or leaping or diabolical chants," as Christianity entered pagan areas. Midsummer celebrations came to be often borrowed and transferred into new Christian holidays, often resulting in celebrations that mixed Christian traditions with traditions derived from pagan midsummer festivities. The 13th-century monk of Winchcombe, Gloucestershire, who compiled a book of sermons for the feast days, recorded how St. John's Eve was celebrated in his time. Let us speak of the revels which are accustomed to be made on St. John's Eve, of which there are three kinds. On St. John's Eve in certain regions the boys collect bones and set on other rubbish, and burn them, and therefrom a smoke is produced on the air. They also make brands and go about the fields with the brands. Thirdly, the wheel which they roll. The fires, explained the monk of Winchcombe, were to drive away dragons, which were abroad on St. John's Eve, poisoning springs and wells. The wheel that was rolled downhill, he gave its explicitly solstitial explanation.